Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final two podcasts. Today, we have a very special guest, none other than Amber Rodriguez. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Ams. Hi, Ams.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here.
Welcome.
Great to have you here.
It's amazing to have you here. How you doing? Introduce yourself, Amber, please. Please do your introduction.
Absolutely. So, hi everybody. I'm Amber Rodriguez. I am an FDU student alongside Sal and Oliver. I work in the financial advising field. So I am getting my licenses, building my book of business within my team. My team is NexGen Financial Group. As you can see within the Mass Mutual Network. I've been there for almost 2 years now, which is crazy to say because it just flew by. But, my degree is in finance and wealth management. I love what I do. I've been wanting to be in this field since I was a sophomore in high school. So now that I'm here, it's like very surreal. Things are happening. Things are coming to life. And yeah, just it's crunch time for me. I'm finishing up my degree. I'm building my book. So it's just been a really, really busy year, even though this whole pandemic is happening, but it's not getting in the way of my goals. You know how that goes.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, that's just a little bit of me. Mm-hmm.
So Amber, before we even, I always love doing this before we even jump into NexGen, and I was even part of that for a little bit. Still am. I feel like I'm still part of NexGen. Let's go way back. Like being Hispanic, being Dominican like me, you're someone I look up to. How was your college experience like coming in? Like, how did you know, hey, I want to go to college? Because where we come from, college is just pass it. Do what you got to do, pass high school and then figure it out. How did you create that feeling to be like, yeah, I'm going to go to college and this is what I want to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that question. So like I said, I knew when I was in high school that I wanted to work in finance. And the reason why was because growing up, seeing my family, make the decisions that they did, and not even within my immediate family, but just, we're Dominican. We have a lot of cousins, a lot of aunts, a lot of uncles. We have a lot of family. And so I kind of just saw the way their lives were going, the things that were going right, the things that were going wrong. And I kind of made that commitment to myself that I was always going to make sure I set myself up to avoid putting myself in sticky situations like that. I also understood at a very young age that money rules the world right now. And, whether we like to believe it or not, or whether we like to accept it or not, it rules the world. So, I know I don't necessarily believe in money is the root of happiness, but I do believe that if you have your money in control, it definitely results into a lot of happiness. And so I understood that at a young age. So I made sure to do everything that I could to set myself up for that. High school, I played sports, I did clubs every now and then, but I wasn't as involved and I didn't really put myself out there. I was kind of very shy and I didn't really want to put any attention to myself. And I didn't really have anybody that was kind of guiding me. I was kind of just figuring it out myself for the most part. And then college comes around. And I didn't necessarily, I don't have anybody within my immediate family that went to college. So I was literally making all these decisions by myself. It was literally to the point where I was in high school, not going to school, like literally not going to high school, to drive myself to college tours so I could figure out where I wanted to go to university. And, I was going by myself in my little Honda Civic. It was like a 2001.
Honda Civic. Yeah.
Honda Civic, the first car we all start off with.
That's like a Dominican flag right there. Put a Honda Civic on a Dominican flag. That's what every Dominican drives the first car is a Honda Civic.
No, I'm telling you, it's a Dominican milestone. When you get that Honda Civic, it's like, you there,
But Amber, that's crazy. It's just like, even at a young age, you were just a go-getter. Although you didn't put yourself out there with organizations or clubs and sports, you still had in mind, like, what am I going to do with the future? You know what I mean? You didn't have that ideal mindset of how I'm going to do in high school, getting out there, being popular or whatever. You focused on after, like your future. And that's really critical, especially in today's age and our generation, especially because, again, everything can change. I mean, the global pandemic is a great example. How can you adapt and try to force yourself into making better decisions and to put yourself out there, even when the world right now is at like a major pause? Certain things, businesses are out of, certain businesses are closing, what can I do still to make the most out of myself and my future? And right there at a young age, especially, you were going out and driving to these, universities, like people have it handed to them, and you go
Yes.
right for an example, like you went out and you went for it.
And
Now, go ahead, Ollie.
no, just to like side point a little bit before you even get to your next question, just like Amber knows how difficult it is for us, coming and seeing our family go through certain things. Like I remember on our first podcast, Sal, we were talking about it, and you were telling how you learned about college, and you would put yourself out there and you would go to these classes sometimes in high school. And I'm like, Sal, I never even knew that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't know that. I didn't know anything but the community college by me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what the difference was from a state school and a private school. I had no clue. So it's like, to see, Amber will relate to this, to see where we're at now, to see how much we've grown. It's like, man, we've gone through a lot to get to where we at. Am I wrong, Amber?
No, you're 100% right, and that's why it hits a little differently when you accomplish your goals, because you know that you got it by yourself. There was no handout.
Absolutely.
There was no inheritance. There was no helping hand. It was just you getting it done, and really just having the support system cheering you on. And I will say that I never did any of this by myself, because if it wasn't for the support system that I had, all the family and friends and all the love I was surrounded with, I would never have been this far in my life. And even now, like, I don't even think I made it that far in life. This is just the brink of where I will be in 5, 10, 20 years. But you're completely right. Hispanics, minorities, no matter what culture you come from, especially if you're not born within the States, you definitely do not have as many resources, as much knowledge, as many opportunities, as many connections as other people. So you have to work 10 times as hard just to get the bare minimum of what others can get. So, you're right. It definitely hits a little different.
Yeah. That's why I also give credit to Sal too, because Sal, he comes from a great background, and instead of him going like, I've got this and the third, I can take it easy at school. Every day finding out a way, every day finding out a different way to succeed. So that's why I call Sal a close friend of mine as well. And man, can we please congratulate Sal for making the basketball team, please? Oh my God. Congratulations.
Listen, man, this is Amber's episode. Come on.
Let's say this, Sal. I never got the chance to personally create that relationship with you, but I see your work ethic from the outside. And that speaks volumes. If I could see what you're doing and I could see you working and not even having those personal conversations with you, it speaks volumes. So,
I mean, I get that a lot. Even like, distant friends that like maybe I'll see them around on campus. Like they'll like when I posted that picture that, I can't go into too much detail about the whole process, but, yes, I am a player. I was a mascot to a manager and now a Division I player like Oliver once was. And, it's crazy. It's surreal. It's, having people comment. I had so many comments, so many likes. And it was just like, wow, man, it's just like everybody knew like how much I wanted it, a dream come true. As much as it was, not in my field, of course, I'm going in for accounting. It's just a dream of mine since I was a kid. And it's like, I really like you, Amber, like, I try to step out and try to do the most I can, even if like Ollie was saying, like I could have just stayed laid back and then just, enjoyed my time, maybe hang out with friends from town. But no, I didn't want to feel like I peaked, you know what I mean? Especially in high school. I wanted to really, break that boundary and, try to be the best, Sal I can possibly be, So, I mean, let's go back to you, Amber. I mean, you're able to balance 3 different things in your life. Your amazing position with NexGen, being a member of a sorority, and also maintaining a high GPA in academics. How do you balance that all out? Because like myself, I try to balance, being an athlete now, working on academics, and then also preparing for my internship. How do you do it?
Amber's always on the go. I want to let you know that. Amber is always on the go. Just know that.
My life never stops. There's always something that I'm going towards, always something to do. I honestly, I can't even sit still, to the point where it actually hurts me, because, sometimes on Saturdays I want to just like lay back, not do anything. And then I feel guilty that I'm not doing anything.
Yup, right?
Like,
oh my God. Oh my God, right? Like when you're so busy, you hate being so busy. And then you look at yourself when you're doing nothing, you're like, am I like,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
100%. But
I
to
feel like
Mhm.
I was just gonna say, I feel like you have to be busy. You gotta feel like if I don't do anything and I'm just relaxing, unless I accomplish something the day before and I'm like, you know what, today I'm gonna rest, then I feel satisfied. If I'm just relaxing and just being lazy, I really feel like, what am I accomplishing? I should be, doing something each day to accomplish. For you, Amber, I mean, I always see you like, anytime you're like traveling, you're always bumping some, like Pop Smoke or any other like R&B rap or something, whatever, but you're enjoying it. You know what I mean? You're enjoying that process, even though it seems like it's, hectical, like it's hectic. How do
Yes.
you, continue that process?
Yeah, so a great question. I will say it was definitely a learning process. My freshman year, I really, really struggled with time management, and it was something that I had to learn. I thought I was organized until I got to college. That was definitely a reality check for me. Planners are my best friend. Calendars are my best friend. My phone calendar and the reminders, my best friend. I write everything down.
Hmm.
I have a model week, and Oliver knows a little bit, but I have literally a week, and you know what? I will actually show you just because I can.
Appreciate that.
I have a
Yes,
model
please
week,
show us,
right?
please.
And you feel me? I follow it every single week, and what I put in my model week is literally like, you feel me, what I have to accomplish every single week with school, with work, with life, with absolutely everything. So look, let me show you.
She's got it all set up.
Demonstration. Here we go.
Dead. I'm dead. Look at this. Model week. You feel me?
Oh,
And
wow.
you can't see the
Whoa.
screen because the green screen.
So
But
you set that up. So you set that up via Excel?
yes, I set it up via Excel. If you guys want to reach out to me, I'm here to share the wealth, so you guys can
Yo,
have
you're
it.
gonna have to teach me how to do that.
No,
Oh,
I be doing that. I do that with like scheduling for my classes, but like a full thing weekly, I feel like that's really essential for all
listen.
students.
So if you do it on a weekly basis with everything that you have to accomplish, not even related to school, but work, life, everything,
Yes,
you will you will be so much more productive. Um,
absolutely.
but this is probably one of the biggest things that helped me because it keeps me accountable. So like if there's a certain
Mm,
time and I'm not doing anything, or I'm like, what could I be doing? I look at this and I'm like, this is what I should be doing. So it's just like every single week, you know how they say consistency is key, and
yes.
practice makes perfect, and stick to that, stick to those habits. This is what's going to make you stick to them.
Amber, and you know what's crazy? You're saying that too. That's been my hardest task lately because being that I was an athlete at FDU, it was like I understood I had my 6 a.m.s and my practice middle of the day. So it kind of already, my day was already balanced out. Now that I don't have that sport, that obligation in the way, it's like I'm a little lost. Sometimes I'm like it's like the hardest part about being, a retired athlete. It's like, oh my God, like now I have to do certain things. And I'm like, been trying to figure it out. And I still haven't figured it out fully, but I've gotten a little bit better at it. So I think that's 100% right what you're saying, because if you don't have it planned out, you're going to forget things. You're gonna.
It's absolutely true. You have to hold yourself accountable in some sort of way. And even then, creating these planners, creating these schedules, that doesn't even keep you accountable. It's really you implementing it. So
Absolutely.
another reason why I stay on top of everything I need to do is because I know my why. So I know why I'm getting my degree. I know why I joined my sorority. I know why I joined my career. And because I know what that why is, it keeps me passionate about it. It keeps me going every single day. So in the morning, I know, okay, I have to do this, but why? And when I have that why, it's just like, this is why I need to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get it done. And once you have that clear, idea as to why you're doing what you're doing,
Yeah,
life's so much easier. If you don't know why you're doing something, why are you doing it at all? You're
100%.
wasting your time. So
100%.
yeah,
That why. You need your why every day of your life. You must wake up every day. Why am I going to do this? Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I've been going to CrossFit at 5:30, and it's like, why am I waking up at 5:30 to get better? You know what I mean? Right away to get better. And it's like, oh, there it is. That's the motivation I needed for this morning to
that's
keep
all you
going.
need.
When was the
That's
first time you got your first internship, Amber? When was it that you were like, I need to put myself out there more than just a simple GPA or a simple grade?
Exactly. Because there's
Honestly,
more to grades.
I got my first internship my second semester freshman year, and I
Wow.
I knew for a fact. Listen, like I mentioned before, growing up as a minority, you don't get those same resources. I had to work. I knew for a fact when I got to college, I wasn't going to be able to put myself out there unless I put myself out there. So I went to the career fair, the volunteer community service fair, the first semester ever of my freshman year of college. And go figure, I was just looking for some sort of way to get experience. And I joined, I reached out to a nonprofit organization, NJCDC in Patterson, and they just so happened to be looking for accounting firms. Now, granted, accounting interns, sorry. Now, granted, I'm a finance major with a minor in wealth management. Accounting was never something that I was interested in. I took accounting classes in high school and I hated it. But
Damn, that hurt me.
Damn, that's a shot to the head, Sal. Damn,
not
sniped.
for me personally, I wasn't passionate about it.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Understand.
but at the end of the day, I knew that I needed experience. I knew that I needed, a foot in the door. I needed an opportunity. So I took it. I didn't even question it. I was just like, whatever, I'm going to take it. Granted, I realized that I didn't like it, but it was 10 times easier to get my second internship, which was actually at a wealth management firm, just because they saw that I had the accounting internship. And I told them exactly that. Like, listen, I wasn't there to get accounting experience. I was there to just show people what I could do, to show my work ethic, to show my skills.
Just to get, not even just accounting experience, just to show that you're proven worthy in the office. You know what I mean? Like that experience is very important. You know, it reminds me of my time, before when I was a manager, or actually not even when I was a mascot, when I was also doing H&R Block every Saturday in the spring, in the fall semester. It was last year. Literally, it was just gruesome. It was 6 hours every Saturday. You know what I mean? And Saturdays, you really want to enjoy it. You know, that's your day, like, kind of kick back and, spend time with friends or family. But, like, I was really, like, sacrificing that time during that fall semester. And, although it wasn't pleasant, but I learned a lot. Especially through tax. And that's what helped me prepare for EY. I'd rather sacrifice that time, like how you said it, you sacrificed your time for that accounting internship, even though it really didn't matter, but it really helped you for the second internship.
Can I say a statement above that too? We like to say sacrifice. We like to say all these words, but we are investing into our future. That's what simply it comes down to. We are not wasting our time. We are not sitting back, and we are not just letting our youth run right past us. Like,
exactly. That's a positive term for it. Yes.
We are investing our time. I looked at everything, like, after this past 2 years, I looked at everything as an investment. Even if I'm playing a video game, I'm looking at that as an investment of enjoying my time. I'm enjoying this moment to just hang out with my friends. And it's been a long semester, so it's an investment of my happiness. If I don't see something as an investment, I don't do it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. No, you're 100% true. And I agree. I think at the end of the day, anything that's worth something, you want to sacrifice something for it. So, even though sometimes now it could be a little bit derogatory, just saying sacrifice, because people immediately think a negative thing that, you have to give something up, but it's true, to get what you want in life, you're going to have to sacrifice.
You do have to give up.
You're going to have to sacrifice money. You're going to have to sacrifice social life, if you really, really care for it. And at the end of the day, listen, like, being 20 is cool and all, you're doing this, you're going out, you're traveling, blah, blah, blah. I'd rather do that when I'm sitting on millions so that I don't have to worry about how I'm going to get to the next vacation. It's just going to come naturally.
Yeah,
that's just like I think. I'd rather put the time in now while I'm young, while I'm lively, while I'm healthy, so that when I'm in my 30s, 40s, I could just kick back and watch my money work. That's just my point of view.
Exactly. And you know what, that honestly, it's like a great reference to like a half full type of person, half glass, that's full. People are just like, you know what, YOLO, I need to make the most out of these years or whatever. Like, no, you don't. You just put in the work now. So you can relax and have a successful time in retirement and enjoy your life. You know what I mean? Rather than stressing about, how am I going to get the bills paid? Am I going to get a job, payroll, etc. Enjoy it. Work for it. You know what I mean? Everybody's always complaining about grades and whatnot. You went in as a freshman to make that first step in your future, which was to get an internship. That's what you have to really do. So whether you're in athletics, etc.
Yeah, no, 100%. I 100% agree with Sal, and I actually want to piggyback on that. So, Amber, GPA, what would you say to yourself or to anyone that's young, Dominican, Hispanic, white, whatever nationality you are, coming in that's like, focus only on the GPA part? Because obviously GPA matters. Obviously, it's very important. Obviously, you want to get the highest GPA possible. But what would you say about that to the kids who are the 3.0s, who are that? What would you say in the real world, how much that really matters, that you kind of have flirted a little bit with that line?
Absolutely. Great question. Let me tell you this. I've never been asked by an employer what my GPA is. So I'll start there. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not important, because being a scholar is important and excelling in your studies is definitely important. However, when it comes to the real world, Nobody's going to ask you what your GPA is, at least not nowadays, and at least not in my field. So what I will say is that when you're in college, what matters is how seriously you take your classes, whether you're actually learning what you're trying to, or whether you're actually learning what you're going to implement in your career.
Absolutely.
It
Yep.
depends on the connections that you make, faculty,
Oof.
staff, students, everything, alumni, everything.
Yeah.
And it matters what you're involved in. So the clubs that you're in, the jobs that you take, whether it's a social organization or a professional organization, those are the things that matter. Because at the end of the day, when you go and you apply for a position, no matter where it is, finance, accounting, it doesn't even matter. What they're going to ask you is, what did you do in college? And how did that help you? What projects did you work on? They're going to ask you, what connections did you make? They're going to ask you, what skills did you develop?
Yeah.
They're not going to ask you what your GPA is and what class, what your grade was in principles of finance. They don't care. They don't
And
care. What they care for is that degree and what you did to get that degree. That's what they care for.
Absolutely. It's really all about retaining the information,
Yes.
retaining those skills. Yes, worry about grades and all, but at the same time, if you end up with a B or B plus in a certain class, and if it was a difficult class, it's understandable. It means you really worked hard and you were trying your best to retain information. There's phonies out there that will just have, A's upon A's and think that, they're on the cloud nine and they're perfect. When in reality, you're going to get tested in the workplace. And, I've seen it myself, at a firm, and a woman, not a woman, it was my boss, and she was helping with a client who was trying to get certain principles down, accounting principles. She didn't understand it, like regular debits and credits weren't applying, and we were just like, you have a degree, like how do you not know certain accounting principles or functions? And
Exactly.
you get exposed.
No, it's
So
true.
you really have to retain it.
Just to connect that to finance, there's people that come into this field and don't know what a treasury yield is, or they don't know what the current market rate is. Like, these are just little things that you should know if you're in the field. It just shows how much you actually care about what you're doing. So if you're not retaining that information and you're just going about the motions to get that piece of paper at the end of 4 years, do what you want. I'll never knock anybody's hustle, but it can only get you so far. And not for nothing, who wants to pay $50,000 a year just for a piece of paper? You might as well learn something. Like,
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
And honestly, it's very important for those major exams, the CPA exam, or the exams that financial advisors have to take. Is what is it? CFA?
The CFA,
the
CFA.
Series 6.
Series 6, all those. You can't just wing it during college and then think that it's going to be a piece of cake. You have to really retain that information and have it ready for those exams. So,
oh my God, it's
make the
best,
most out of it.
It's the best feeling when I hear my friends, and shout out to Robbie, my friend Robbie. He just passed the Series 7. It's just amazing to hear friends of mine who have just graduated that are getting licenses like that. And it's like, honestly, for GPA wise, I feel like the only place I've seen that it really matters is for internships. And I am so mad I was never really told that when I came in, because I didn't know.
Really, just for your resume, yeah.
It was like that's where it really kind of like stood out the most, was for the internships, which I didn't realize that. And another thing was, everybody was like, graduating, and everybody started talking about these licenses. And I'm like, licenses? Like, that's, how blind I was. I was like, license.
But you know what, Ali? I don't blame you, because people don't set you up for this, okay? They don't tell you these things until it's that time for you to get those things, which is unfortunate. Like, if I told my advisor at the time, my freshman year, that I wanted to be a financial advisor, why on earth would she make me take the classes that I did? Why on earth would she not tell me about the CFP and the CFA and all these things? Like, they should be planting those seeds for you. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I went into financial advising, is because people don't have financial literacy. They don't teach it in high school. They don't teach it in middle school. I think it just happened within this past 5 or so years, maybe even 3 years, where they mandated that you have to take a financial literacy course. Not even in high school, I think. It's either high school or middle school. I'm not sure. But they just mandated that. And money has been around for generations. So why is it that now they're implementing it, I think if they implemented that, how many people would not be in so much debt? How many people would not have so much student loan debt and credit card debt? And you feel me, would be able to buy those homes that they've always wanted to buy for, would save more. Like, it's just those little things. I can't even tell you how many people I've met with that don't even have a budget, like, it's just those little things that they don't teach you in high school.
They don't.
Even getting to college, they don't teach you what it takes to get to
I
college.
feel like that's the most important thing, you know, like those basic classes, they're fundamental, you know what I mean? Like I had a class freshman year just, you know, learning about how to write checks and whatnot. Now everything's digital, so I barely even do that. So why don't I learn something about budgeting, something about actually like within my major besides just an accounting class? You know what I mean? I just did basic accounting. You know, they should have that early on for these kids to learn, especially Excel classes. You know what I mean? How
Oh
important
my
is Excel
God.
in your in the financial field?
God, I
Super
use it
important.
It's like a backbone, you know what I mean? Everybody uses that. It's
Yeah.
essential. And they're kind of lacking. They got to do that more.
So that's what I was trying to do also this winter was besides the two classes I was taking and the SIE studying, if I wasn't taking the two classes, honestly, my goal was going to be to jump into a course that had to do with Excel. How can I master that program the most, like
Those
to the max?
MIS courses at FDU, they were
Super
essential.
important. Super
Super.
important.
And
It made life so much easier.
how many people did you see in those classes just falling asleep, not even realizing how important it was to know those things? Like,
They didn't
I
take it
don't blame him
serious.
though. I don't blame him because it's like, it's not that I understand you got to do your research. I understand you got to do all this, but unfortunately, it's like, man, we're behind the eight ball. Like you would tell me this my fresh sophomore year. I was like, I passed the class. Yeah, like I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what you had to plan these things out. Like I remember I saw this quote I think 2 days ago, and it was like a picture of Microsoft, Bill Gates, and Facebook, Zuckerberg, and they were together, and it said, if you want financially freedom, don't let your expenses reach, like basically saying if you get rich doesn't mean you need to have expensive things.
yeah,
Like doesn't mean the richer you get, oh, now that I'm rich, let me get a Ferrari. Like you don't need that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Certain things, like you need to understand that your financials for you to enjoy it to the max. You can't increase your expenses. You can't, because it's just you're gonna be at the same level every single time, just with more expensive things
literally,
to
absolutely.
pop out for your friends.
Like I said, they don't teach you these things in high school. That's why I'm such a big believer in education. That's why I went to college to begin with. You know, I could have went to a community college, got my degree, and call it a day. But
I want to get, and I've been talking about Barclays a lot. I don't know why. Like after NexGen gave me a great opportunity, and it's like I want to learn as much as possible. And I told Amber that we had a whole phone call about it. And I'm like manifesting it. I'm putting it into the universe. I want to work for them at least to see if I like it or not. Because watch me go there and not be something I like. But as I've seen, it's like a great opportunity. It's like I'm manifesting these things. This is what I want. Because if you don't put that out there to the universe, you're not gonna get it.
no,
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So I think so, Amber. So you said you've been in so many internships, right? What was it that NexGen made you stay? What was it that they won you over? What was the difference about it first day? Like, what was that about?
absolutely. So with finance, I think everybody kind of has this idea of it being very cutthroat, white collar. You know, you go in and you have to work, 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 and you don't get no handouts. There's nobody helping you. You kind of just are given a couple different things and you're just told figure it out. And that was not the experience that I had at NexGen. Literally, I walked in and I told them that I will do whatever they ask me to. I will, you feel me, learn everything. I will soak everything like a sponge. I will ask a million and one questions, and that's what they saw out of me. You know, in return, they invest in me. They spend the time with me. They connect me with the people higher up that, you know, I want to be in their shoes. So they make sure that I see that and that I speak to them and stuff like that. So I think overall what NextGen gave me is just that connection, knowing that I have the people by my side to get to where I needed to be. And that's big. That is so big because listen, it takes a village. People love calling themselves self-made, but at the end of the day, we know who was there to help them. Okay.
Yes.
Nobody does things by themselves. You need mentors. You need people to help you out. You need people to guide you in the right direction. And yes, at the end of the day, it all comes down to your work ethic and your dedication to it. But there's always people that are guiding you. And I know for a fact that when I joined NextGen, I had the right people guiding me. And I also saw what they were doing. And I was like, I'm big on, you know, not following people that aren't in a position that I want to be in, or following people that, you know, are doing the things that I want to do. And I saw that they were doing all the things that they, you know, they wanted to do. They had the flexibility at work. They were able to show up when they wanted to, but business was always getting done at the end of the day. And they had fun in the office, you know, work was getting done, but they had fun in the office. The chemistry was there, the work ethic was there. It was literally everything that I ever imagined in a firm. And coming from different internships where I did have wealth management firms, it was just busy work. I was thrown in a cubicle and I was told, here's some work, get it done by the end of the day. And then when you finish, bye. And I was like, this is what I'm going to be doing. Like,
So
I've
you see, that's why also personally I wanted to try the Barclays out, because I don't know anything else. You know what I mean? You kind of knew what this is not what I liked. Oh, this is what I like. Oh, but I like this, but this wasn't it. And like you got to NexGen, and that's why you are so, you know, pleased with being there, because you're the one that got me there. First of all, it was so Sai, you want to hear this story? Did I ever tell you this story?
Nah.
So I walk into tax planning after practice, and I'm like, yo, Amber, I'm stressed. And Amber's like on her computer like this. All I hear, it's like, hey, what's up, Bali? What's wrong? I'm like, as she's typing like a million things. I'm like, yeah, I'm just looking for an internship right now. Like, I don't know. No one's not really getting opportunities. She's like, oh, really? Like, yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard. I'm like, hey, is there any internships offered at your job? She's like, oh, you won't want me? No problem. I'll send your application over. Just send me this information.
That's how easy it is.
I told you by that like 4 or 5 days, I had an interview and I was hired within the next like 3 days after that. And I'm like,
wow.
Listen, that is the golden story about connections. Networking is everything. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know, okay, to guide you in the right direction.
100%.
And once Ali told me he needed an opportunity, I said, bet, I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure you have an opportunity. And that's exactly what I did. So
Amber, of course, I was going to say, are you pleased? Of course you're pleased. It looks like you're succeeding in what you're doing, especially. But are you looking to go, above NexGen, or are you looking to, still stay and work amongst, the levels within that firm?
So I definitely don't plan on staying at the level that I'm at right now. All in all, I will own my own.
Talk, sis.
I will own my own financial planning firm, and overall my goal is to have people of color and women join my firm. And the reason why is because as I joined the finance industry, I was the minority, and it was primarily the same demographic of people who were working in the field. And I always wanted to understand why. And, digging deep, I realized it's because financial literacy is not accessible to minorities and to those underprivileged communities. And, at the same time, you see the same demographic in these fields, and it's kind of like discouraging. It's like, maybe that's not my field because I don't see my people there. So I want to change that whole dynamic behind it. I want women to join the finance industry. I want people of color to join the finance industry. You feel me? I want to build successful people. I will say my passion, I love financial advising and I love doing what I do, but my overall passion is just helping people and putting them in a better position.
Yes.
So if there's any possible way that I can put somebody in a better position, whether it's career, whether it's health, whether it's school, whether it's self-care, anything at all, that satisfies me alone. Yeah. So Oliver putting him in the internship and getting him that opportunity, that was more fulfilling for me than it probably was for him, just because I was able to help him, extend that help that I didn't get. So I think overall, my biggest thing is just making an impact, connecting with as many people and helping them in any way that I possibly can.
So, Am, can you please let everyone know? I'm sorry, I don't know if Sally, you're going to say something.
I was just going to add one more thing, and she kind of hit it on the head as she was talking about, her dreams and her goals in the future after NexGen. But, what advice would you give to young women now who want to succeed in the workplace, just like yourself?
Great question.
I love that question. I'll write a book about this eventually, but I think overall, I would say that, there is no limits. You can literally, and it sounds cheesy because we hear it all the time, but it's so true. And I wish people took it more seriously. You can literally do whatever you put your mind to. Yeah. You can literally do whatever you put your mind to. If you make a plan and you dedicate yourself and you manifest that for yourself.
Yes, you can. So,
I know a lot of women sometimes feel like they have to fit a certain, I don't know, they just have to have a certain lifestyle, they have to get a regular job, they have to cook, clean, have kids, and satisfy their husband. No, you can actually build yourself your own life and then go ahead and do all those things. So that's probably another thing that I want to just scratch off the surface, break that stigma, is that women can literally be just as successful as any other person. And we're seeing it now. We have Kamala
Kamala
Harris.
Harris, yes.
VP, like that is huge. That is huge. You know, they've never seen a woman in the VP position. That's huge. So, you know, she's breaking barriers. I want to be able to break barriers in Jersey, and then maybe
And why can't you?
and then the East Coast.
Why
and
can't you do it? Why can't you? Why?
Exactly.
You can't. There's no can't in that sense. Is I will. It just takes time. It just whatever it comes, it'll come. So it's 100% right, Amber. I love that mindset. Oh, it fires me up because it's literally like we always say in every episode, and we'll keep on repeating. Sal and I always say, why can't we become successful? Why can't we blow up this podcast? Yes, we may have 100 viewers sometimes, but we've had episodes that had 500 views. Like, why not? Why can't this blow up? Why can't we make a difference? Like, Sal and I, when we created this, we said to ourselves, when I called them, we had a conversation, why are we doing this? And we said, we want to make a difference now. We don't want to wait till we're successful millionaires. We want to do it now. We want to almost like basically like tell our story as we're going there. So these conversations we're having now will not be the same as a year from now. You will not be talking like this, Amber, a year from now. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly why Sal and I are doing this. And that's why we kind of put that out to the world, because we are manifesting our future. We are constantly saying this on our podcast. We're constantly, why not us? Why can't we do it? There's no reason why. Yes, you can make fun of us. We don't care. If it's for you to be negative, who cares? Like, we have people like yourself on this show, people who have made it, people who are on their way there, people who are all together as one, trying to figure it out, trying to become something more than just us as a singular person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. And you hit a great point. You know, I think people at our age specifically, they feel like they can't because they don't have, I just posted on this on my Insta too. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I have to wait till school's over. I have to wait till the pandemic's over. I have to wait till this, that, and third. Why are you waiting? Get it done. Do it. It doesn't matter.
Go for it. Be a go-getter, just like Amber. Seriously.
Make it happen. Make it happen. And if it's not, when it does happen and it's not to your liking, make it better. You feel me? It's a learning process.
It's a learning process.
Overall, people at our age need to just realize that you can do whatever you want to. You just have to put your mind to it, and you have to dedicate your time to it. And with time, it comes.
With time, patience is a virtue. I just had a conversation with my professor. So for my environmental science class that I'm taking over a winter course, we go over the homework, but I had to go pick up my sister during that time. So I was like, hey, do you mind me stepping out for like 20 minutes? I had to pick up my sister. So when I came back, I sat where we went to the homework, and we were just talking, and she's just like, we were having a like conversation exactly what you're saying right now. It's like, this is what I was doing. She has a master's in environmental sciences, a master's in accounting. She has a master's in biology, like some crazy, like
God,
insane. And she's just telling me like, patience is a virtue. Yeah. The fact that you're sitting here and like talking to me like this, and you're having this deep conversation, goes to show me that, one, you're very bright, and I've never been told that in my life that I was bright. Like, I was like, wow. And I started cheesing because it was like, whoa, like someone sees something more than just you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, make that difference, and just having that patience to wait for that time to come. We can't expect that. I was having this discussion with my dad yesterday. The problem with our generation is we want money fast. We want success fast.
Yes.
And that is the number one problem. Yes. Right? Tell me not.
No, you're true. I was a victim to it. You feel me? I was doing listen, I you guys have known me for a good time now. There was a point where I was balancing 3 e-board positions, 3 jobs, and 18 credits in a semester, just because I wanted to get to where I wanted to so fast. And I was killing myself. I was burning myself out doing all that, not even realizing that it's all about doing those couple things and doing them to the best of your ability to get you to where you want to be. Patience is 100% a virtue. I had to teach myself that. You feel me? Even till this day, when I don't see the results after, all those habits that I'm implementing every single week, staying consistent, when I don't see those results right away, it bothers me, you know? It does. But I use that as a fire to keep going, to keep working harder, to put 10 times more effort into it, rather than, as discouragement just because I'm not where I want to be,
100%. That's why I repeat this, and I always say this to anyone listening. I don't care who, but it's just, I'm gonna cry when I get my diploma. I will, because how hard this thing was. So much hard work. This is emotional. There's a lot of emotion towards that little, like everyone likes to say, that piece of paper. That piece of paper means a lot to me.
Absolutely.
That piece of paper holds a lot of value, not because of what is on there. It's just the fact that I know that I've changed my generations to come. I've changed that. I have broken a barrier, officially broken, ready to tackle on what's next. And it's like, that's worth crying over. That's worth gaining emotion over it for that point of time. And just now, what's next? You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
so
Piece of paper, it speaks volumes, and it's more so just breaking those generational curses.
oh my God.
University's too expensive, go to community. Are you serious? If you play your cards right, you can go to university for free. It's just a matter of if you want to get there and when you choose to get there. If you're a freshman in high school, join a couple sports. I promise you'll get a full ride. Like, you feel me? You got to dedicate your time. You got to dedicate it. You
have to. I got for my birthday this past weekend, I got like maybe like $500, I would say, cash. And I was already thinking about, what am I going to spend? Am I going to get a new TV for my PlayStation? Like, what's going on? And I sat there.
He's got the PS5. I'm a little jealous.
I had a conversation with my.
Which one of your girls boss you that, Oliver?
Yo! Not on the pod, please.
Oh my God.
Wait, Amber. Dear Lord, this is a serious conversation, Amber. God.
Oh my God.
Anyways, go.
Not real quick.
Oh God. Oh,
he's sweating.
That's gonna 100% get edited. So I had this money, and I was like, "What am I gonna go?" Oh my God, that's so bad. I can't. Hold on, I gotta finish my sentence. So I got this money, and I was like, what am I going to do with this money? And I looked at the stock market, and I put that money into the stock market because I know this is what's going to be for my future. My poor bank account, I'm getting messages by Chase going, bro, you might as well just cancel it at this point because I'm like negative. Like, you know what no, I'm not negative. That's bad. I'm dragging it. But I have more money in my investment account than I have on my deposit account, my account that I use on my card, because it's just, I need my future. That's my future money. I'm living at home. I have no expenses. I'd rather throw that money into the market and stay with my $300 that I have of liquid money that I could use for any emergencies, any McDonald's I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just, but you have to create that mindset. And I think finance for that.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people too at this age feel like they got to throw every single paycheck into an investment account. You can put $20 a month into that account and make that work. You feel me? It's all about having a trading plan too at the end of the day. Like, I think people underestimate the value and the power of investing at a young age. And I think now we're starting to realize that too, even throughout the pandemic. You know how many people I saw downloading Robinhood, Acorns, you feel me, TD Ameritrade, all these people starting to get invested. And I love to see it. I love it. You feel me? I love seeing people use the knowledge that is literally right in front of us and just leveraging it and putting themselves in a better position. It's great to see.
No, it's 100%, 100%. That's just how it is. Sal has never had the privilege to meet John. Can you share a little bit of what John, and explain to Sal who John is? Because he made a huge impact. It's Jatel, shout out to Jatel too. Everyone part of NexGen was amazing. That was an amazing internship, amazing experience. Can you just share to us who John is?
Absolutely, yeah. So before I even go into that, shout out to John, shout out to Belle, shout out to Kristen, shout out to Anthony, shout out to everybody at NexGen leading that team right now. That is just, oh my God, just doing everything they can to put my team in a better position and just give us everything that we need to be successful. They are leaders. They're not managers. They are leaders, and I learned so much from them on a daily basis. But to answer your question, so Sal, John, and for all our audiences, for all our viewers, John is the CEO of my company, of my firm, actually, John Busick, among many, many things, because he is a part of very prestigious professional organizations, including the FPA of New Jersey, which is the Financial Planning Association of New Jersey. He's the president. He's the president. He's the CEO of my firm. He has, after hearing his story, and I won't even go into that, you guys have to get John on this podcast for that.
Oh my God, he said he'd come on too.
He would love to. I promise you, he would.
The problem is he's so busy. He's super busy.
On the calendar, you know how my team works. We work 2 weeks in advance. You feel me?
That would be amazing.
We had this date on the calendar for 2 weeks to make this happen. So
literally,
trust me, he will do anything and anything to help and to put people in a better position. But maybe that's where I get it from a little bit. I don't know. But John is amazing. He's from a town in Pennsylvania, very small country town. Grew up with nothing, pretty much. Grew up with his mother, not even his father around. And he is now probably one of the most successful men I know. You know, he has a beautiful home. He has beautiful children, a beautiful family. They're all doing great things. He's just such a great guy. He's one of those people that you meet and you wouldn't even know that he's so successful and so wealthy, because he's just such a humble guy. You know, he's just happy, very positive. He makes you feel like you're the only person that matters at that very moment when you're having that conversation with him. You know, even now, you guys know Oliver knows how busy he is, but if I go to his office and I tell him I need him, he will drop everything that he's doing to help me out. And that's what really speaks volumes about what sets apart a manager and a leader. A manager will say, 1 second, I have to finish this. A leader will say, what do you need? Okay, if it's that important, I will drop what I'm doing. And if it's not, I will get back to you as soon as I finish. That's what a leader does.
Yes.
And another thing is that he teaches everything he knows. He is literally like a book. I will ask him anything, and like this, he has an answer for me. And it's direct, it's clear, it's concise, and it makes sense. He's a great guy. And if you guys have the opportunity to have him on this podcast, I truly, truly think you should. He, like I said, I've been there for maybe 2 years now, or maybe a little over. And he has taught me more than any internship, any job, any leader in finance has ever taught me. And because I have to give credit to Bellaria Jimenez, who is the principal. So her and John are partners. They both carry the team and run the team together. Amazing. She's probably one of the biggest reasons why I joined NexGen as well. During that interview process, what really sold me is seeing a woman, a Venezuelan woman, so a Hispanic woman, who isn't even that, you know, she's been in the field for a good amount of time, but not like 50 years, not 40 years, you know, and she's already at the top. I dropped dead when I saw her. I was just like, oh my God, like she's literally in the position that I want to be in. I want to be where she is right now. And when I spoke to her, she was just so passionate about what she did. She was so happy to be, you know, to see a woman trying to get into the field. And I just knew when I met her that I wanted to be in that position. I wanted to be on that other side of the table. So big shout out to John and Belle and Jatil. You know, he's my
shout out to Jatil, that boy.
Listen, the team that I have, the manager, the leaders that I have at NexGen, they are truly one of a kind. I will say that. And that's why you'll always see me repping NexGen. Y'all are lucky I didn't have my NexGen shirt on, because you know I was. You know I would. My NexGen socks, all that. But that's why I rep NexGen so much, is because they do a lot, you know. They really set themselves apart from every other financial firm. And I think people will see what we're doing in NexGen in maybe 5 years or so. And they'll start picking up on what we're doing and instilling it within their firms, because it's just great things that they're doing for the younger audience, you know, the younger people that are just getting into the career. It's just amazing.
You walk in and you're ready, like you're shown love. And I'm very big on that. I'm very an emotional guy. I'm very emotionally driven. So if I get a bad vibe, I'm already like
out.
That's what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. Being emotionally driven, you know what I mean? Like we talk about it, and we had previous coaches on the podcast, you know, Coach Arenda, Coach Hamburger.
Shout out to coaches. Shout out to all of them.
You know what I mean? Coach Radzuski. I mean, across all spectrums of sports, and even in the business field with managers and, you know, having CEO. I would love to have a CEO on this podcast. John seems like an amazing
Oh my
guy,
God, I would
like
love
you
that.
said. Like you said, he connected with you emotionally. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He's really driven to, you know, really look into how his employees are feeling, how his, you know, financial advisors, accountants, etc. within the firm are feeling, because not only does he want to see results, but he wants to see a positive nature within the workplace. You know what I mean? And that's huge. You see major coaches nowadays changing. That's the biggest thing. The culture, not only the workplace, of a team, etc. You want to have leaders like that, you know, driven emotionally. And I think that's huge, especially for, you know, successful firms like NexGen.
And that's why it's so important to get yourself out there and get so many internships, because then you'll realize what culture's really like. Unfortunately, being an athlete, we kind of get the end of the spectrum because we don't have time. You know, I took this to Mary Sakin, who was on our show. Shout out to Mary Sakin. And I told her, hey, Mary, I've been struggling with internships. She goes, Ali, the problem is that you're a full-time athlete and employers know that. So that's a good thing, you know. Yeah, you know that. But the negative part about it is we don't have the experience. Mm-hmm. So when I walked into NexGen, I had no clue what this atmosphere was going to be like. I didn't know what to expect or what anything was like. So because I was an athlete, and that's the only problem with it. So, I'll shout out to NexGen. It was an amazing experience. They helped me a lot, and I'll see, hopefully maybe someday I'll probably come back, or, who knows, like
Well,
what life will
listen,
touch you.
there's two things that I will say. Culture is everything. Okay.
Yeah.
If the culture does not fit your personal, standards, you will never be happy in that position. And that was everything to me. I wanted to be in a team culture. I wanted to be in a family-like culture. Growing up Dominican, family is everything to us. Everything to us. Like, we do what we do for our family. I do what I do today to make sure my family has no issues at all whatsoever. And they won't. Once I make it to the top where I want to be, they will not have no issues. Culture is everything. So you have to make sure that the employer that you work for matches the culture that you would like. And you need to know that beforehand. That's one question that every interviewee, not interviewer, interviewee, so the person who's applying for the job, needs to ask, what is the culture like? And the second thing is coaching. You guys have had a couple coaches on this podcast. I did watch, you feel me? I do be in tune. I stay tuned.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely. And
damn, drop a like next time, Amber.
I do.
Man.
You guys don't see my like?
Stingy with that like. No, you do not like it, Amber. Stop it.
Why are you on it? Why are you exposing?
Because you was on me before.
Nah, but I think coaching is super big. And my leaders, John and Belle, they actually made a book called The Team Game.
I bought it. I have it. I haven't read it yet.
Book. It's an amazing book, and it's all based around coaching. Okay, it's coaching in financial advising, and
I'm gonna go grab it.
And that's why. Oh my God, it's a great book. I'm telling y'all, like it's designed to teach you how to run a team without being a manager, but being a coach, being a leader. And there's definitely a difference. Managers tell you what to do and tell you to figure it out. Mm-hmm. Coaches will tell you, this is what you need to do. This is how you do it. Get it done. And if you need help, let me know. That's how it's supposed to be done. So I give big props to them because, they're amazing.
Right there.
Ooh, yes, dropping gems. Let's go.
The team game right there.
It's a great book, y'all. It's a great book. And you know what? Just because I like y'all. You feel me? I like you, Oliver. I like you, Sal. You guys are great people. I love what you're doing with the podcast. I'll have a personal conversation with John and make sure that he gets to this podcast because I feel like he can provide so much value. And I can see this podcast going places. So I will definitely do my part to make that happen for y'all.
We appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Of course.
We
do. I mean, listen, we're just two small town kids, making a difference little by little, breaking barriers as we go, bringing on people who are doing the same thing like yourself, bringing on people who have succeeded like Coach Arenda, other coaches that we've had on the show. And, it's just about spreading that positivity. We don't have negativity here. We don't sit here and bash anything negative. We look at the positives and everything. Anything in life, it could be our job. I bet you could sit here and be like, there's some negatives about this. Or it could be like, my friendship, he has a little negative, but we don't talk about that. We talk about the positives because it's all that matters at the end of the day. You know what I mean? No one's perfect. No place is perfect. And you got to stop with that mindset. You got to make it work. That's it. And you'll be happy because life is short. These opportunities you get to have these conversations with like people like yourself, Amber, Sal, and here we are. But
no, yeah, it's true. Energy is everything. I mean,
it is.
Social media really butchered the word energy because that's all you see now. It's like energy this, energy that. But it's true. Energy is everything. So and that's in all aspects. If you walk into a room and the energy is wrong, you get out. If you talk to a person and the energy is wrong, you get out. Vibes, energy is everything. And then it comes down to your employer. If you walk into an office, a building, whatever the case may be, and the energy is off, you get out of there. Okay. You got to protect your energy at all costs, Because
they need us as much as we need them.
Yeah, it's true. And not for nothing. Like, I think a lot of people see employers as them investing in you, but the employer doesn't, or the employee doesn't see that investment that they're making to the company. Okay. Like, they are paying you to be there. So you need to make sure that they're taking care of you. I just did a seminar within my sorority called Fire Up Your Finances. And one of the things that I mentioned is that you need to ask what an employer can provide to you before you take that position. Okay. You're not there just to sell yourself and that's it. You need to know that the company is going to take care of you. what benefits do they have, what their culture is like, what are they going to do to make sure that you have the opportunities to advance? You need to know these things, because if not, like, you're going to get stuck in the same position, miserable, because you don't know what you're kind of stuck in that route. People get complacent, people get comfortable. You just need to know that you always want to be 10 steps ahead. And we actually talked about that a little before with the pandemic, making sure that I'm setting myself up for success. You always want to set yourself up 10 steps ahead. Okay. You want to make sure that once you have that goal, what's the next goal after that you're working towards? What's the overall big picture, right? You always want to keep those things in mind. And then that comes to the why. Everything is so connected. I did learn that everything is so interconnected with life. So,
Everything's connected. Everything's a always circle, and what you give out to the universe, you get back. I know this positivity, what Sal and I are doing with this podcast. Like, you, again, repeating, Amber, you've been amazing on this podcast. Episode was amazing. Bringing this energy out to the universe, it's gonna happen. We're not perfect. We're nowhere near it. And we always say that we're not telling you what to do. We're just throwing out their advice of people, what successful people are doing. And if you could see kind of a little lay down of everyone we've had on the show, they kind of all say sort of the same thing. You know what I mean? And they're totally different people, totally different dynamic. And wow, what an amazing episode. Sal, what do you think?
Amazing. I mean, I learned a lot from it. I mean, Amber is such a driven woman, and especially in the, the workplace and the business world. It's really, like she said, it's really tough. The demographics, are true. You know what I mean? The diversity is very slim, and we're still working as, as a society with that, circumstance. But, Amber is ahead of the curve, especially even back at high school. I mean, I loved hearing her story. And I think this is amazing. The fact, and I asked Ollie this, I genuinely asked it. I was like, the fact that, like I'm trying to balance all these things in life at the same time, like other people like yourself, other women, men, etc. You're balancing three different things, a sorority, putting up all that work, as well as, managing different jobs, internships, as well as academics. I mean, there's just so much on your plate, and yet you still are driven to accomplish these things each and every day. I think that's truly, truly amazing.
Thank you.
Don't let off the gas.
It all comes down to the why. I do everything I do for a reason. All my moves are intentional. You feel me? It's because I'm passionate about it. It's because I care about it, and it's because I wanted to do it. So thank you guys for having me. I love sharing, my experiences, everything that I've learned, sharing the wealth, sharing the health. I'm big on that. So thank you guys for having me. You guys are doing a great thing here. Just, spreading knowledge within our age group, to make it as simple and just as accessible as it possibly can be. It's a great thing that you guys are doing. So listen, I'm here. You feel me? You guys need me. I'm here. I'll be on any episode y'all want me to, talking about whatever y'all want me to. And for all the viewers, follow me on Insta.
Yeah.
X Amber Rodriguez. You feel me? I hope y'all can see my name somewhere out here, because some people don't know how to spell Rodriguez. That's all good. But yeah, it's been great. And yeah, I appreciate y'all giving me the platform to spread my truth.
Of course, all our listeners, take some notes. We had an amazing guest, a very busy woman. When she becomes successful, don't say it was luck, because you could see it now. All the things she's doing right now.
It's earned.
You need a little bit. Everybody needs a little bit of luck. I agree with that. But luck is created by yourself. The hard work you've created, the luck comes that way if you want to add luck to it. So yeah, but remember, like and subscribe to the video. Oh my God, this is amazing. We're gonna drop Amber's Instagram, Twitter, whatever she got under the description below. Sal, send us off, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was the Final Two Podcast. Thanks for watching, and peace.
Peace.